People will have these goals and aspirations that they really want to do or achieve, and they'll see all these other people who look like they're getting everything done and they have everything figured out, but the only thing holding them back is they simply don't know where to start. What's up, guys? I'm so happy to be recording this video right now because lately I've just been feeling extremely inspired to not only share with you guys what I'm passionate about, but give you a little bit more of a taste into my life and what a day-to-day schedule is like for me as a health coach who just recently started her practice, and when I work from home, what I do, so you guys can get a little bit of a feel for who I am as a person and what I like to do, and I can get to know you guys better, and we can really start to develop this community around positive energy and basically how to just create the life that you want. And so there's a couple things that I want to talk to you guys about today, but first I'm going to show you my setup and what the typical setup is that I like to do when I'm going to be spending a lot of time at my desk. So here we go. So right here, I'm getting a little bit of work done on my laptop. What I like to keep around is my favorite planner ever, and I like it because when I have a to-do list, I put things on the time slots that they have right here. I had a couple friends over, so that's why I didn't really care to put anything down, but you can write your goals down. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Some water, of course. I have my tarot cards, some sage. This is the book I'm currently reading right now. And I thought it just looked nice here with my money tree, some art, and my goals sheet right here. And this is going to relate to what I'm going to talk to you guys about later. And other than that, we have a little bit of good energy right here and my little camera setup. And yeah, so I'm not all that used to making day in the life videos. I've done it a couple times in the past, but never really relevant to anything or what this channel is necessarily about. So I hope you guys find this helpful. But one of the things I want to talk to you guys about later, and the main point of this video, is essentially how to start a healing journey or how to start a lifestyle journey, because oftentimes what you'll find is that people will have these goals and aspirations that they really want to do or achieve, and they'll see all these other people who look like they're getting everything done and they have everything figured out, but the only thing holding them back is they simply don't know where to start. Now, if we took a step back and really thought about it, I'm sure we could figure out what a good place to start would be, but sometimes that's not in the front of our minds and it's not at the tip of our consciousness. So we really have to just have some guiding steps that's going to help us find a good starting point so we can really kick things off and start creating the life that we want. So along with giving you guys a taste of my day, we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. So I hope you enjoy it. I won't drag it on, and yeah, let's get into it. Peace. So I just took my dog on a walk and I completely forgot to bring my camera with me and record what I was doing. So it's very clear to me that I'm not the best at remembering to record when I don't necessarily think it's necessary. And by that I mean that since this channel is so small, I feel like what I want to give first is value and what you guys want to see, which is the content that the title's related to and all that jazz. But since you guys don't really know who I am, then you don't really have any questions as far as what I do personally and just questions about myself as a person. So that's probably why I forgot, but I'll get more into it and keep this interesting. So that was just an update. We'll get to the good stuff. So let's get into some actual material instead of me just rambling on. We're going to talk about how to start a healing journey or a fitness journey or whatever journey you want, but primarily a healing journey because that embodies all areas of life in whatever you choose to create balance or seek that fulfillment. Reiterate, that could be anything from finances to personal life to social life to joy to home cooking to finances. Did I say that? To friendships, to sleeping, to stress, all the above. Whatever you seek to create balance in. Now, the first thing we have to do before figuring out the steps we need to take to start, it's important to figure out, obviously, where we want to go and what it is we're seeking out of going there. What is it going to bring to you when you get that goal intact? Now, I do want to stress that it's important to enjoy the journey, not the destination, because healing is a journey, not a destination. Because as you'll come to find, sometimes we get into these thought patterns, I want to say, where we tell ourselves or subconsciously tell ourselves that we're not going to be happy until we get to a certain point in our life. Come to find out, for those of us who have been there and actually got to the point where we said we were going to be happy, we weren't happy because we kept seeking more and more and more. You learn to adapt to your way of living and your lifestyle, and you're seeking the next biggest, greatest thing. Happiness is not a destination. Happiness is something that we seek to grow in. It's something that we continue to seek and advance in as time goes on. And yes, something can make you happy, but it's not a simple decision. Oh, I've decided I'm going to be happy when I complete this 30-day detox. Then I shall be happy because I shall have shredded 20 pounds. No, that's not exactly how it works. And a lot of you know exactly what I mean by that. I'm not keeping this video necessarily just talking about weight or anything like that, but that was just the example that came to mind. So, I just woke up my dog. Here's what I would say to do. And this is just an example of something that can get you started. I have an ebook called 21 Days to Quiet Your Inner Bully, if you want to check it out below. It's the unedited version. I'm currently working on updating everything, and then it's going to be out on the market again for sale. But currently it's free, so get it while you can. I have a sheet in there that's on, sorry, I'm looking at it, on day 11. That is basically a sheet where you can write out some negative feelings that you have about yourself, negative opinions, and then kind of how to formulate a way to change that. And the reason why this is so important, and I think all of you guys should check it out and at least try it, is because we don't want our reason for change to be something coming from a place of negativity and hatred of ourselves. That is not the right way to go about it. We don't want to be pushed by a negative energy. This is a concept that Tony Robbins talks about. And here's an example I like to give. If you are trying to lose weight and your goal is to get fit or whatever, you don't want your motivation to be because I don't want to be fat. That in itself has a negative connotation around it. We want something, a higher, greater reason to pull us to a more positive outcome and a greater destination. I want to lose weight because I can live a longer and more purposeful life when I have the energy and vitality to continue on and make everything happen. I want to get healthy for my children so I can feel the best that I can and show up for my children the best that I can. Do you see what I'm saying, and how just a simple reframing of our thoughts can play a huge role in our ability to change and make change happen? Just take note of that. I need to check something real quick. Am I recording? Okay, my camera's. But it also, on the other hand, is important to uncover some of those negative things so then we can work on switching them around in the process. This goes back to the whole enjoying the journey thing, releasing all of those negative mindsets that we have. So take out a sheet of paper. List 3 negative opinions that you hold about yourself. 3 negative opinions that you hold about yourself. The next thing you're going to do is answer this question. Who contributed to these thoughts or beliefs? A lot of the negative things we think about ourselves didn't originally come from ourselves, because we are not born with these preconceived ideas of anything. So there had to have been a point in time where we were conditioned to believe a certain thing. So just take a couple of moments and try and analyze, why do I feel like failure or feel so badly about myself or feel whatever it is you may be feeling? How has your current behavior reinforced these beliefs? So let's say you're really stressed out at work and you always have a long to-do list to do, and your goal is to become more organized and be cluttered of all your mental space, decluttered of all your mental space. And you haven't gotten there yet and you're not sure why. Well, the actions you're taking now are not contributing to you figuring out this problem. Maybe you have the same routine and you need to switch up your routine. So that can be a good example of how your current behavior is reinforcing why you feel so badly. And I'll list all the questions down below too, if you guys aren't doing this with me. Then list 3 things you might be doing different if you did not have these beliefs about yourself. Getting into that opposing mindset that's going to benefit your higher self. what could you gain by challenging one of these beliefs? So it's important to work small. This is going to help us find a starting point. Like, what is one small change we can make that will help us get to our desired outcome? What is something you could learn to improve this area of your life? Maybe it requires a little bit of research to finding proper tactics that you're okay with trying that might benefit you. And another thing, guys, the process of change is just trial and error. Life is a big game of trial and error. If something doesn't work out for you, that's awesome, because now you know what doesn't work. And that means you're one close stepper. You're one step closer to finding out what does work, so you're one step closer to succeeding. So what is something you could learn to improve this area of your life? Maybe look a few things up on YouTube or Pinterest or whatever to gain a little bit of inspiration. Lastly, what is one small action you could do to challenge this belief, changing our thought patterns, which then will change our behaviors and our actions? Physical change is not possible without a strong mindset to match. So although we can change our environment, we also want to be working on the behind the scenes stuff as well. So I guarantee you that you will get something out of this exercise if you're vulnerable and open with yourself and make the decision not to hold back, and physically take out a sheet of paper or write in a Google Doc form what your answers to these questions are. Print them out, put them up on your wall so you can see them as a consistent reminder of what your goals are and why you're striving for them. The most important part about starting a healing journey is just starting anywhere. I know we get caught up in not knowing where to start, but we get so caught up in not knowing where to start that we are stagnant and we don't start anywhere. So we need to start somewhere. So with this list, after you've created and formulated sort of what you can do to improve this area of your life and what small actions you can take, simply take that action. And if you're still stuck, then you need to get out your calendar right now and you need to write down one date or one day a week or whatever it is, whether it's a notebook calendar or a whiteboard calendar, and carve out a small time slot for you to do it. Whatever that may be, that's up to you. So I'm going to reiterate these questions one more time very quickly. Again, they'll be down in the description, but this is exactly what's going to help get you started in terms of your mindset and in terms of physical action. 1, list 3 negative opinions that you hold about yourself. 2, who contributed to these thoughts or beliefs? 3, how has your current behavior reinforced these beliefs? 4, can you list any actual facts that support these negative opinions? I don't think I read that one before, but that's a part of it too, because a lot of the things we believe aren't even necessarily true. They're just things that have been embedded into us and that we've become to be conditioned to believe. 5, list 3 things you might be doing different if you did not have these beliefs about yourself. 6, what could you gain by challenging one of these beliefs? What positive reinforcement, what outcome can you get by choosing to change the way you believe about a certain situation? So if you believe you can't do something, what would you get out of it and get out of life if you finally were able to believe you could do it? Would you have a newly found confidence? Would you be able to tackle more and more projects that benefit you and help you? Just think about that. I don't know what number I'm on, so I'm just going to read them from here. Next, what is something you could learn to improve this area of your life? Again, the research aspect of it, or asking questions, asking around. Don't fear asking and gaining knowledge and asking for help. Lastly, what is one small action you could do to challenge this belief? However small it is that you think you need to start with this, start with that. I know for me, I like to think that I'm capable of a whole lot, but sometimes I'll put something on my schedule that I think, oh, I can totally do this. Like meditating, for example. I wanted to meditate more, so I'm like, okay, I can meditate 3 times a week. It's good. Going from 0 meditation, and it was just a thought that, okay, I would like to meditate. Well, long behold, I didn't meditate a gosh dang time, and eventually I had to suck up my pride and admit that 3 times a week, like 5 minutes each, was just too much for me. And even though that seems pathetic that I wasn't able to achieve it, the fact of the matter is that I didn't. If I wanted it badly enough, I would have done it, but I didn't, so I need to back it up a step because meditating is something that I want to be able to adopt and practice regularly. But I need to back myself up and start with meditating 1 day this month. That is the goal. If I do it more, yay, but if I don't, I'm not letting myself down because I literally told myself I would have to do it 1 day this month. That's what I have to tell you guys right now. Yeah, I was going to talk about my goal sheet, but I will do that in the next video simply because I don't want to take up too much time. You all have lives. Get off YouTube. Go live your life. All right, guys. I will kind of be with you, but not talking. Hardly.